Welcome back, guys. Last Man In Podcast, episode 16. Yeah.
Dan's back.
I'm back.
Dan, we invited him back. It's on a PTO basis.
They invited me back to my house.
It's a
to
PTO
record
basis
this
right
podcast.
That is correct, yeah.
PTO.
You have to
We're going to see
earn
how he
it.
works out. You're going to be the Thomas Caberlet of our team right now. We're going to see how you work out.
So I guess we'll pick up exactly where we left off. Colorado. Just kidding.
No, we won't start there.
What
But
are
we
we
will
doing?
start pretty much where we left off with New Jersey and Winnipeg playing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Winnipeg ended up losing in a shootout, 2-1. A game where they kind of dominated. What?
They should have won.
They should have won that game. What?
You told me to write this down. The Devils. It was their first
18.
shootout win in 18 games. Wow.
Slump Busters.
That's a lot of shoot. That's a quarter of your season.
No matter how
Get
well-
points.
Busters.
No matter how well
Oh,
the Jets are
Slump
playing, they still suck in the shootout. It's
No, they weren't bad. Like, okay, well, we'll carry on. They any notes from Devils that you noticed?
I only watched the third period but they dominated the game, and then the Devils they had one turnover in front of the net, and the Devils scored on it with about 2 minutes left. So
Okay, and then later their next game was Rangers. They won 1-0 in a shootout win. Kane got the shootout winner.
I did not see
Yeah.
this game.
I saw only like the second and third period in the shootout, and Pavlik played his best game as a Jet, and he outdueled Henrik Lundqvist, which is something
what I
that not a lot of goalies can say they've done.
That's what I heard.
And he played well, and it's awesome to see, and
Well, he's
very interesting.
He's playing. I don't know if you guys saw that they did a stat comparison of his stats through 15 games now in the last 3 years.
Oh,
His stats are amazing right now.
yeah, and maybe it's the conditioning that he did, and maybe it's the team in front of him's playing a little better too.
His goals against is like 2.01, and his save percentage is 9.924.
And the other thing that I've
That's
noticed,
it. That's
though,
all we
Normally-
need. 920, baby.
Normally his goals against is over 3, and his save percentage is under 9 at this time.
like the
So-
thing that's crazy too, though, is like
That's-
you look at the quality of teams we played against. There's a lot of good teams there.
Yeah.
A lot of teams that can score.
Yep.
Especially like you don't necessarily think Nashville can score, but now they have James Neal and they seem to be a team that can score. They're a threat now. So like you look at
They're
all the
more of a
teams we
threat
played,
than
they're
they
all good teams.
Yeah, and they have like a team like Nashville. They also have like prospects emerging.
Yeah.
That you can tell.
Phil
And
Forsberg.
they also
Yeah.
have like one of the best goalies in the NHL.
Yeah.
Of course.
So
No, but we're just saying that they've played against teams that can
Oh,
score. And
Yeah.
if people's argument is, well, they played against Nashville and Calgary, those teams can still score. They find ways
But
to score
Nashville,
goals.
what they're also known for is really good defense. So
Yeah.
the fact that we scored and then just held on. Wait,
Well,
what was this?
we won't touch that game
Oh, yeah.
just yet.
and
sorry,
just
I
the
guess,
thing
yeah.
too, like they were 2-5 or whatever at one point. Like they had some games they didn't win. They haven't really played bad. The Calgary game, they played an amazing first period, and then they took their foot off the pedal.
Yeah.
So,
No, they really did.
but they've shown in every game they've shown that they can play consistent. If there's the ability is there.
It's not like previous seasons where once they got down, like once they got scored on or like they gave up a lead, it's like, oh, we're done. And they you could tell they stopped. They're still going.
On the note of consistency, for the last 3 seasons, the Jets have started 4-5-1.
That is true.
So that's okay.
Yeah, that was with the overtime loss to New Jersey. So consistency, not consistent greatness, but still nothing to complain about. Considering that if you think for the 2 years prior to this one, there was legitimate chance at one point that we could be a playoff team, even though last year it was a lot more.
They're in the
dwindling.
playoffs right now.
Yeah, they're in the playoff
They're
spot.
third in the Central right now.
Dang.
Only 2 points behind St. Louis for first.
Yeah.
Tarasenko.
Oh my god.
No,
Don't even go there.
Ridiculous.
We won't go there.
Hey, sorry guys.
We can't. We got too much to get to get sidetracked.
One thing I've noticed too
Too
with the
much.
Jets is like, okay, they always have streaks where they play well, and you're like, oh, okay, but like when I watch them play, I've never seen them look as calm defensively. I've never seen them shut down teams like top teams they have. Like the Chicago game that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, they won
that's
1-0
In
with
the past,
Michael Hutchinson
in the
in that.
past, if the Jets were to win a game 1-0, they'd be hanging on by the skin of their teeth winning that game. No, they shut Chicago down. They deserve to win.
Oh,
that
they
game.
really
They
did.
scored 20 seconds in, right?
Yeah.
For a week.
And then
That's it.
Shut the game
They
down.
stopped-
They shut it
And
down.
Hutchinson played well. He didn't
Yeah.
really. There was only one play where really I saw they could have scored, and Sharp tried to put it around Hutchinson. He had the entire net covered, and Sharp hit the post, and that was like the only really gaff.
And
of the
Chicago's
game.
going
They
to get
played
good
really well.
chances. They're a good team.
Oh yeah, and
But-
Hutchinson and our D really shut them down.
They did.
I think it frustrated them, and I think it's proven to a lot of teams that we're not the pushover that other people thought we were going to be.
Nope.
And then so after
And
those,
we'll get to that. But the Pittsburgh game, they really showed that they're not going to take any shit this year.
yeah.
In that Hawks game, it
yeah.
was the longest like shutout streak ever. You
No,
guys
that was that rolled over into the Nashville game.
Following game because they went almost half the game before they scored.
Oh well, then I'll just mention it was the first set of back-to-back shutouts for Jets since they were the Thrashers, dating back to October 5th, 6th of 2008.
I don't know the dates, but 2005, Michael Garnett did it, and 2006, Kari Lehtinen.
Then it was Lehtinen because I have Lehtinen. Yeah. I have the date. I just don't have the year. So.
Yeah. It happened twice, but
it did happen.
That's
twice.
A long time, but I'm glad it's turning around now.
Yeah, it's nice to see the consistency. Like that was the number one thing we were worried about was if Pavelec could play to the potential that he has, and he's really showing it this year that he has that potential.
That Hawks game, Paul Postma was really impressive.
I think Grant Klitzum's been really impressive as well.
Yeah.
I think he's really shown what he showed the first year that he was here and why he deserved the contract that he got.
Their whole defense right now, they don't really have a problem. Even Toby,
we're not sitting on any
injuries
small, currently, are we?
No,
Peluso's healthy.
Awesome.
So
we're a very healthy team right now.
I think Peluso's still on the IR technically, but he's good to go. But he's still on the IR, I think.
So the following game was Preds. The Jets won 3-1. I don't have the stats on this one, but I did see one stat. Pavelec had a .958 save percentage in this game, so he got peppered with some shots.
And he did let in one goal. It was kind of a squeaker, but
like the thing is though too is like last year
the Jets shut them down too. They shut down Nashville.
Pavelec was good for one bad goal a game every game. It'd be like some really bad shot and he would let it in. And he's really composed now too about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's great.
And
it's great to see.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, if he lets in a squeaker, he shuts it down. He doesn't let anything else in.
No, exactly.
You know.
That's what he's doing this year compared to previous years?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's one of the best goalies in the NHL right now, if you watch him play. And stats-wise, he looks confident. He looks...
Well, prior to the Pittsburgh game, I did some research because, I wanted to come up with some interesting stats for this game. Jets right now are sitting... tied for third in overall team tandem save percentage. St. Louis
like the Jennings Award.
The tandem save percentage.
Yeah.
In the West, I didn't look at the East teams because that would have taken too long, and I can only waste so much class time at school. Because who learns?
And there's a lot of bad teams in the East.
And here's like a random just stat regarding like the Flyers because they're a team from the East. The East goalies let in a lot of pucks. Flyers, out of all their games played, they've only had 3 games, so they haven't scored 4 more goals. So there's just East teams let in a lot of puck.
Yeah, they really do.
So anyways,
the 3 teams, it goes St. Louis, Chicago. Like St. Louis has Jake Allen, who's played 3 games and has a save percentage of like .959 right now.
And then Brian Elliott.
And then it's Ranta and Crawford coming in at 2. And then I think it's Kings and us that are tied at an average of like .935.
And they have Martin Jones and Jonathan
Quick. So like it's us and Kings at like .935 rounded up, and then .936 is Chicago, and then St. Louis is like a .939.
Yeah.
Average save percentage, which when you think about it, when you're in the elite of the elite conference, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
When you're in a playoff spot a quarter way into the season in the most elite division in the NHL, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, and especially when you can stop the puck and it's not going in the net.
The thing is, they have to do this all year. That's always been their problem.
It's the consistency factor.
But if the Jets get this good at goaltending all year and they play this system all year, they will be knocking on the door for the playoffs. I'm not gonna say they'll make it, but they will be in the conversation.
Well, of course, if they're in it now, why wouldn't?
But
they stay consistent.
They have to.
Yeah,
that's the tough part.
I still want McDavid.
We'll get to McDavid.
We're not going to be the Columbus, Buffalo. We're not that bad.
Carolina,
like it's.
I want.
We'll get there, Greg.
We'll get there.
What happened?
Let's talk about the best Jets game since they came back, arguably. Oh my God! This game was awesome.
What was the score?
4-3 Penguins in a shootout, but the Jets deserve to win.
Oh, it was Brian Little's 500th game.
Yeah, that's what
was my stat for there.
You know what's? I watched maybe 6 minutes of this game because I was
awesome.
I was too busy playing Call of Duty.
That was a mistake.
Well,
Advanced Warfare.
The new game is unreal.
It looks freaking awesome.
It's so much fun. I haven't had this much fun.
Kevin Costner? God damn it.
Kevin Spacey. I
Shut
don't
up.
play the campaign. I play the multiplayer.
Be Kevin Spacey.
Not yet.
It
Is
looks
there a hack where you can run around with him online?
No.
With a handgun. He's like,
No.
I'm Kevin Spacey.
No.
I'm Kevin Spacey. Should.
No.
That'd be bad.
Not yet.
They should invent
On
that.
computer,
You should-
probably. They'll
You should
probably have-
suggest that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know them.
I
This
would
Pens
download
game-
So much fun. No, this Pens game. I watched
Oh my
5
God.
minutes. In the 5 minutes I saw a goal, 2 fights, and like
It was
sporadic shit happening. It was awesome.
the
Just
Jets.
so much of everything.
Sorry, hold
The
on.
Jets. Yeah. Okay, go.
Greg, when he's sorry, Dad, you
No,
you'll
no,
go
no,
right
no,
after
no.
this. I'm laughing because Greg is like he looks at me and he's like sporadic shit, and he just waves his arms in the air. I'm like, what? What are you
If
talking
you were
about?
watching the game,
I didn't at
that's
all,
your
like-
reaction. Okay,
There's just so much.
How many fights were there?
Everything is happening.
there was 4 fights.
Okay, who fought?
First fight was Blake Knuckles Wheeler with his 3rd fight of the season.
Knuckles.
That's what they're calling him now because he's.
My question is, who would have thought at the start of the year that Blake Wheeler would be leading the Jets in fights?
You know what's
in,
gonna.
in top 5 penalty.
You know what the
minutes in
thing is
league.
though?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Okay, he fought Bortuzzo.
Robert Bertuzzo.
He's a big defenseman. He took 3 runs at Wheeler in the first shift.
Yeah.
He hit Wheeler late once, so Wheeler turned around and was like slashed him, and then they fought. And Wheeler actually got the better of him. So he can hold his own, but you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna break his hand punching
Yeah.
someone, and then he's gonna be out for 2 months.
You know that there was a trade way back when I was hearing this involving the Thrashers and Pens. I don't know if it was a Colby Armstrong one, but either way, there was a trade. There was a pick. There's a pick flipped for picks or whatever.
Colby Armstrong was the Hosa.
Okay, well, no, I'm not sure how far back
Okay.
this goes, but the pick that we received from the Pens picked Chris Thorburn, and the pick they got was Robert Bertuzzo.
Oh,
So
you
that's
go.
a weird one.
stats.
Bertuzzo, though.
Fun facts.
He's like Wheeler's probably one of the last guys you want fighting, but I mean he held his own, so good for him. He basically said
and that was how fast into the game.
10 minutes.
Okay, and then
he
after-
basically said, if you want to run me, let's fucking fight. You know,
Okay.
which you have to respect him for that, but I mean, you don't want him getting hurt.
I don't
Well-
want him swinging the wrong way and clipping a guy's helmet and busting his hand.
Yeah.
Evander.
Well, yeah.
Minute
Let's
left in
get
the game.
Fight
let's
number
get back.
2
Let's get
was
back to
Evander
Evander
Kane.
Oh,
and
was it?
Simone Desprez.
Who fought?
Simone Desprez.
Oh, really?
There was
Yeah.
a scrum, and they kind of had each other, and they took their helmets off, and Kane
Just went, and it was a great fight.
It
At the
really-
start, it was really slow, and then they just started landing punches. Every time Kane hit him, I'm like, don't break your hand, Evander. And he's just like punching.
It was a
he
great
won the
fight in the
fight.
sense that Kane pretty much ragdolled him at the end.
Yeah, he won the
They
fight.
took their helmets off?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
the refs didn't jump
Yeah,
in right
they
away.
didn't.
No, they got penalties.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was like,
And
yeah.
then- And then the other
and
thing-
then Kane did the Peluso get the
Like,
crowd going
boom.
thing.
All right.
Wade pushed his
Because
hands
the
up
Jets
in the
were
air.
losing 3-1, or 2-1.
2-1
and
at the time.
They were kind of losing the momentum, and then he kind of got it back.
And then they were losing.
Okay, so
3-1.
fight 3.
But before
Oh, sorry.
that, there's a picture floating around, and I'll get Cam to retweet it. And it's just Desprez and Kane. They got their fist back, ready to punch, and they're both smiling like this is the best time of their life. Kind
Oh,
of.
Kane was fired up. That was,
Yeah, like they were
that was a
just
good time.
smiling. It was like,
That's a
let's
good
just fight. And I think the Pittsburgh game, more or less, was one of the most fun games to be a Winnipeg Jet. Not only a fan.
That was
just
one
like-
of the best games I've seen Kane play.
And I was listening to it on the radio on my way to hockey that night, and Paul Edmonds was saying, new play-by-play announcer for Winnipeg, by the way. He was saying how this is the loudest, and even
Oh,
Shane 90 said it.
God,
It was
yeah.
the loudest the arena had been in a year or two. Like it was just
Probably
so
since
loud.
that Boston game.
I was gonna
That's
say.
probably the loudest.
I saw a lot of people saying like they were ranking like top 3 Jets games, and it was like not in any order. It was like the Boston game,
Yeah.
year 1, like where they won 2-1.
That was an awesome game.
That game, the Pens game that just happened, and then I'm trying to think what's another really memorable one.
Our first win against
Ducks-
Pittsburgh, maybe?
Ducks team.
Oh, the Ducks
Oh,
team.
Ducks,
game,
that was
yeah.
a really good one.
That
Yeah.
was.
It was so entertaining. And you know what? They kind of fell apart in the second period for about 10 minutes.
And that's when
And it looked like the game was going to slip away.
Yeah.
But
And then they just regained their composure.
They came back.
Honestly, that play by Bufflin when he dumped
Downey after the goal.
I think that really recomposed the team, and they're like, "Hey guys, we got to get control of this game." And they regained control. They tied the game up, and they just seemed to focus. And in that game as well, Evander Kane got his 100th goal
On a breakaway.
and just ripped it. It was kind of the similar way that he beat Lundqvist in the shootout.
Yeah.
Just ripped it blocker side. And-
well, like once he hit like that top of the hash marks, he just lets her loose.
Oh, yeah. And he's like,
he was wide open.
"Hey Fleury, I see that new contract you signed. Fuck you." Boom, back in that.
Yeah, no, it
4-year
was,
extension, 22
it
million.
was,
Might as well say it now.
yeah, no, it was Bufflin was out for blood in that game.
Oh, boy.
The only thing I
he's so
saw
scared.
Paul
Paul Maurice has gotten into him because he hits everybody now. He went from hitting nobody to trying to hit everybody.
This team is very exciting to watch.
He's gotten them in, this game. The third fight, a Pittsburgh guy he was going to the net and he just ran over Pavlik. It happens, right? Second it happened, Trouba grabbed him, ripped his helmet off, and just started beating.
So that was fight 3.
That was fight 3. Trouba got... So we went from going to be having a power play to being short 2 minutes because Trouba got the extra. But yeah, he grabbed him and he was like, "You want to hit our goalie?" No. So
that was the first time that the Jets have ever played Pittsburgh with Crosby and Malkin in the lineup in Winnipeg.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Aside from the shootout where they both scored, they were invisible.
Yeah, Crosby had 0 points. Thank you, Winnipeg, for doing that.
They weren't even
Voracek
noticeable.
had
though.
a goal that evening, and Todd Crosby.
Yeah, but points aside, you didn't even notice them on the ice.
But here's the other thing too: is look at who scored all their goals. It was their third and fourth lines.
They got a couple, but the Sutter goal, he had a breakaway off of a bad turnover. The Downey goal, I don't even know what happened.
It's just like a very fortunate bounce.
That's the only highlight I saw from the whole game.
He came out of the box and then hit the end boards and went right back on his stick, and it's like, well...
And he kind of pulled to the backhand.
Yeah.
And then he scored, and then, I just saw
and then Bufflin just dumped him.
I was like, what was that?
Well, it was worse because...
I think it was frustration.
It's frustration.
A little bit. And he probably doesn't like Steve Downey.
Well, Buff's a big guy though, so I'm assuming Downey wasn't expecting to get hit either, so it probably just kind of he ragdolled himself.
Maybe Downey was like...
He got kicked out in the third period for mouthing off to the referee.
Downey did?
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
Which
probably fired up the fans.
What was the fourth fight? Fourth fight? Was it Craig Adams?
Yeah, it was Craig Adams.
Oh, and Adam
He
Lowry.
took a run at Klitzum. Probably should have gotten charging. He didn't. He took a run. He ran him from the blue line. So then Lowry's like, "You want to run our player? Let's fight." And Lowry got
he split his hand, didn't he?
He punched him in the helmet a couple times.
Oh, okay.
And funny thing, Paul Maurice, I don't know if it was before the Pens game, but he's like, "I'm not expecting Lowry to be a 20 goal scorer right now, but I'm expecting Lowry to show up every night, which he's done, and be a factor, which he's done." And he's like, people thinking that he needs to be this goal scorer, that's not the right impression of him. He's a role player, and he's his role.
The role he's playing right now is perfect.
Yeah. He's doing his job.
And you know what? He's not very strong on his stick because he's gotten some good chances to score. That'll come.
Yeah.
But that line. I love that line.
Is it Perreault, him, and
Buff? I love that line.
That's a good line.
Perreault is so good with the puck, though.
Yeah. He's smart. He's a very smart player.
He's probably the most flashy guy with the puck on the team.
I automatically think of...
For everyone who's listening, Cam doesn't watch Jets games anymore. So that's why we have to explain to Cam.
Turned to a number 1 Flyers fan.
Yeah. Not that I just... At that Colorado game, we talked about it last podcast, it really got to me.
What happened?
Oh.
What happened?
I watched a recap for those who listen. This is going to be a recap of last week. But it wasn't the game. It was the fans and just how ridiculous they are. And just...
Yeah, I don't hate the team. I like the team. It's just the fans, and then
they get to you.
And plus, I've had stories of friends of mine telling me stuff that's happened to them too, and I guess I just stepped away for a second and looked. I'm like, that's just ridiculous. Of course,
I pointed it out
yes,
too.
I understand it happens in every city.
Yeah,
you guys have pointed that out to me. Of course, small portion doesn't represent everybody. Of course, no. I've just stepped away for a little bit, and it just so happens that. Every time the Flyers play, the Jets play, and they play at the exact same time. So I've just been choosing to watch a Flyers.
It's called an Eastern road swing. That's what happens when you play in the East all the time.
That was the Bufflin double down game, right? When he nailed Tyson Berry, and then the guy went after him, and Bufflin's like, nope.
Yeah. That was crazy. That was awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I'm not just single. I'm still a Jets fan. It's just I just stepped away.
That's because, I will admit that
it just got to me, and I know it sounds
It's gotten to the point now where every penalty they boo the referees, and
if
it's a bad call, a blatantly bad call, go ahead. Boo the shit out of it.
Everybody
don't care.
Of course.
If it's legitimately a penalty, though, just
let it go.
Leave it.
Yeah. And don't cry about everything that's missed by a referee. You don't know what the referee might be like. I'm going to let them play in the third period. And you let them play, and it makes the game more fun, and then you just call the stuff that needs to be called. Mm-hmm. Take, for instance, the Boston Bruins in the playoffs. That team is mean when it comes to the playoffs, and they get away with a lot of stuff because refs let them play. And that's the way
the Jets were playing Boston Bruins hockey against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah. Although that was that's great.
They outchanced them, they outchecked them, they outskated them. They should have won. I mean, a shootout's a coin flip anyways, and when you have the two best players in the league, Crosby, Malkin, they're probably going to win.
Yeah.
But
if it comes down to something like just based off skill, then
the Jets deserve to win that game though.
Oh, for
Well,
sure.
what I've noticed, and that is on the sheet in front of me, is that they came out with at least a point in every game they've played since our last podcast.
They're
which is awesome.
5-0-2 in the last 7 games.
So there you go.
And
That's
even dating
10,
back
11, 12 points. That's awesome.
12 of 14.
12 out of 14.
That's
and
pretty
teams,
good. And you look at the teams they played.
Yeah.
All considered
Devils,
playoff
Rangers,
teams.
Hawks, Preds, Pens.
They had the Islanders in there. They had.
I think
Colorado
all those
in there.
teams.
Yeah.
I think all those teams minus Colorado in the playoff spot. I think the Devils are still in the playoff spot.
Yeah.
Right now.
Islanders have kind of fallen off a bit, but they're still up.
But dating back, even at the start of this, you said they're 5-0-2. Is that what it was?
Since
Is that what you
in
said?
the games that I named. Yeah.
Okay, 5-0-2. So that's
5-1-2 in the last.
5. Yeah. No, 6-1-2. 6-1-2. And their only loss was to Tampa Bay.
Wow.
And
6-1-2.
Wait, hold on. And then the game is tonight. Who they're playing?
Ottawa.
And so say, because coaches, I hear they put games in 10 game segments.
No.
Even if they lose tonight, they still came out with points out of...
They'll have 12 of 16.
Yeah.
12 of 16 if
That's
they lose.
pretty good.
That's awesome.
If they play how they played against Pittsburgh,
I don't know if they can lose.
they will be in every game this year.
But like the other thing too, yeah, it's about, and the thing is now you see the scoring's coming. What is it? 3 goals against the Pens, 3 goals against the Preds, and sure they didn't score against the Rangers.
Yeah.
But it's persistence, and they're eventually gonna start getting these bounces going in. And the thing is when they're not scoring, they're still staying in the games by solid goaltending and solid defensive play.
And hitting, finishing your check, Kane,
Yeah.
knocking
When
out
they-
McDonough.
When they shut out the Rangers 1-0, I was like, okay, like all right. But when they did it to Chicago the next night, I'm like, okay, that's more than a fluke.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's signs that they can be a winning team.
There are. Which means the signs of getting
And the
Connor
thing
McDavid are
the
further
thing
and
I love
further
about just one more about the Penguins game, like they got themselves in lots of penalty trouble with all the fighting and all the going after guys. And like I understand like that'll hurt your team in the long run. But I loved it because it showed that they basically said we're not taking any crap. Like we're gonna be tough to play against. If you try and take runs at our players, you try and hit our goalie, you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah,
and they've never been like that. They've always backed off and said like they've let teams kind of run them over.
They let the other teams dictate the play, and now they're not doing that. But that's also good because teams will remember who, like they'll. I guarantee Ottawa looked at the game tape against Penguins and they're like, well, obviously, like you can get under certain players' skins, but what we learned from this is the Jets aren't gonna just sit back previous years. They're a different team now, so you have to take that.
Also, the penalty kill for the Jets is unreal. Because Penguins had a 40% power play rate going into that game.
Damn.
Jets went 6 for 6 on the penalty kill.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. That continues. Like, what are we, third in the league in the penalty kill?
Yeah.
Because we're 88% going into that game. So
they've never been as good of a defensive team as they are right now.
That's great. Means whatever Paul Maurice has been preaching is working.
Oh, I love Maurice. I love him.
Yeah. I really.
The Kool-Aid.
They asked him about the fighting after the game, and they're like, "You probably don't want like Wheeler and those guys fighting." He kind of smiled, and he's like, "Well." He's like, it shouldn't happen every game, but I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
He's like, if it happens every game, then that's going to be a problem, but it's okay.
I think right now we're okay. So let's move off the Jets now, as
So you're telling us to cool our Jets?
Yeah, we should cool our Jets.
Should we lift off the subject?
We should. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Jets puns. Plain puns.
Yeah.
That's fun. Okay. And let's step away.
Oh wait! We can't just step away at Air Force One's coming by.
We should
clear the air, guys.
I think we have to refuel.
Oh
my God!
Yeah.
These are bad puns. It's the worst puns ever. So Daniel, I know that maybe 1 or 2 times you've gandered and maybe watched some internet porn every once in a while.
I'm pretty sure we all have.
Yeah.
Why are you throwing Dan under the bus?
Why do I get thrown
because
under?
he doesn't know.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know the porn star named Lisa Ann?
No.
By chance?
I don't get that into it.
No, you don't know Lisa Ann?
No.
Well, you're missing out. Porn star Lisa Ann and Michael Del Zotto had somewhat of a thing. They went on a few dates.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
And for the last 2 years, Michael Del Zotto has been texting her saying, hey, do you want to hook me up with some of your friends?
Not, hey, do you want to hook up with me?
Yeah.
And Lisa Ann has been saying, I shouldn't be able to, I'm not doing this. You're a good-looking guy. You can do it yourself.
So
like Michael Del Zotto's a young, rich dude.
Yeah,
Like,
after he has money.
He's not
after
the worst.
2 years of this,
two good things.
Lisa Ann ended up going on Twitter and just putting him on blast. Like, and just put him on blast.
Yeah, like
and was like, most of the time guys want to date me, not my friends. Most of the time they want to have sex with me, not with my friends. And you're a hockey player living in Philadelphia or New York, and you need help getting women. I don't know what's wrong with you.
She used a description in her tweet as NHL stud defenseman Michael Del Zotto.
Yeah.
Michael Del Zotto is no stud defenseman. I don't think she understands a porn term for stud to what a stud is in the NHL, because Michael Del Zotto is quite not a stud in the NHL.
No, not at all.
Anyways, she put him on blast about, like, asking her to hook him up. So then she's like, ladies of Philadelphia and all over, Michael Del Zotto is a single guy looking to hook up. And then he blocked her on Twitter. And then Twitter erupted. And you know what's one of the best tweets I saw?
The Twitter puns were great.
The Twitter ones were great. Like, one of them was, okay, I'm so glad we have explicit on this already. But it was like, who's better at handling 2-on-1s? Lisa Ann or Michael Del Zotto? And then another one was from Steve Dangle. We talked about him before, but he tweeted, he's like, the one thing I find questionable about all my Twitter followers, not one person has asked me who Lisa Ann is.
Oh boy.
It's like most people know. I'm shocked Dad doesn't know.
Well, whatever.
She's considered the #1 porn star. On Pornhub, she's ranked #1.
You know what's hilarious?
There's
about
rankings on
There's
Pornhub?
rankings on Pornhub. You
people can
you
sign
type
in
in porn
vote.
star or porn stars and it ranks them for you. #1 is Lisa Ann. #2 I think is Madison Ivy.
Real? Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
number 3 or 4. I don't know. How
Asa
I know this.
Akira.
I had to do some scientific research.
Number 4.
We did it for the name of science.
Number 4, Miley Cyrus with that.
No, Alexis Texas.
Alexis
gotta
Texas,
be up
and then
there.
Asa Akira.
Have you seen that, Miley Cyrus?
And then the number 5 I think is.
This is totally off topic.
Yeah.
No, we'll get to that in a second. Number 5, I know the name. It's got her Tori Black. Number 5.
Really, not
Yeah.
Rachel Starr?
Maybe Rachel.
I
Starr.
just want to point something out. Greg and I are we're single, and Dan has a girlfriend, so that's probably why Greg and I are like, yeah, so this, yep.
Oh, what about this porn star? What about this one?
This is totally off topic from hockey, but did you see the Miley Cyrus, what she did during her concert the other night?
No.
No.
She brought this inflatable doll out that had a giant penis, and she gave it a blowjob and stuff on stage.
That's you know what? That's Miley
No,
Cyrus.
it is totally
What
on
the
top
fuck?
because we're talking about
During a
porn.
concert where there's probably kids.
Kids, don't learn from Miley Cyrus and stay away from drugs.
Hannah
They're evil
Montana
things.
is a whore.
And just to
Hey,
close,
if Hannah Montana wanted to have sex with me, I would not say no.
just to close up,
Even with the short hair or the no hair.
I don't care. It's Miley Cyrus. Would you not be like, I had sex with Miley Cyrus?
She's.
I've been
she
told to
can
not.
teach you a few things.
I've been told to not stick my dick in crazy, but I'll stick my dick in famous any day of the week, including Amanda Bynes and
You know
Lindsay
what,
Lohan.
I'm-
That's
Pretty
probably what Michael Del Zotto was going for.
No, he didn't want to stick his dick in famous.
No, he did. I think.
Well,
but
maybe.
okay, well,
but
we'll
he didn't
close
want to
it.
continue doing it. Instead, some freshman.
Hey, you don't crap talk
Football
that
player.
freshman wide receiver from Notre Dame. Okay, he scored 6 touchdowns last Saturday and many more on Lisa Ann. I'm assuming
How old is he? 19?
he's 19. He graduated last
Did
year.
He's 19 and
And
he's
she's
dating a
42.
42-year-old porn star. Just putting that one out there for you.
Oh, and to close,
How do you bring her
He
home
likes
to
the older women.
How do you bring her home to mom and dad when
They're
your dad?
seasoned. They're
No,
seasoned.
But when your dad's like, I've seen you naked in many videos. How do you explain that to your parents bringing home a porn star? I just want to put that one out there.
What if you brought him home
It's
to
their
your dad,
job.
and your dad knows who they are?
and your dad used to...
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Shimmy Shango.
yeah. Do the dirty
Do the dirty. To close
in his
up.
office alone at night.
Okay, we're
with the
closing
lights
this
off.
Michael Del Zotto. I get it. Is that Michael Del Zotto said the day that this came out, like in the dressing room, he's like, first thing he's like, if you guys ever ask me about this for the rest of the year, I'm walking and I will not answer any questions for the rest of the year. And then me and a couple of my friends, coworkers, were just like, you know what? If you could ask a question to get your way around and be like, what's your favorite Mona Lisa and painting?
No.
And just try and see if you can just curve it a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
hey.
boy.
As,
Oh, go ahead.
As we're on the topic of women,
Okay.
there was Well, we are.
Yeah, no. I'm.
There was a thing that happened in the OHL.
Oh.
With Tinder, which for Dan, who's the only non-single person here, Tinder is a
I know
site
what it
where you
is.
can swipe people.
It's an app. Not
It's
a
an app.
site.
I
It's
know what
an
it
app.
is.
That's right. Application. Okay, you know what Tinder is.
Yes.
So you're seasoned. Then you understand what Tinder. You understand the swipe
I don't know if
right,
I'm
swipe
seasoned.
left. Okay, well, there's a couple OHL players.
I don't
One of the
know, I don't
Belleville
use it.
Bulls and one of the oh my goodness, oh god, Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. Is that the right team?
I'm not sure.
Who's the Greyhounds?
The Greyhound? Sue.
Sue, yeah.
Sue Greyhound.
So it's like one from that team, one guy from Belleville Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
They matched this girl on Tinder, and they were talking to her, whatever, and the girl decided to shut them down and say no.
And Tinder, for those of you, by the way, Tinder originated from an app called Grindr, which was created for like gay men to just have anonymous like hookup sex. So they were like, oh, let's just bring this into for like men and women. Not that there's anything wrong with homosexual, but like for other people. And so Tinder is a hookup app. Like it's like
It was. Now it's becoming more of a dating app, but these OHL players were using it for the purposes of hooking up. One of them being a draft pick of the LA Kings.
Yes.
And once the girl shut them down, they did the typical, my ego's bruised because a girl doesn't want to have sex with me.
Because they're teenagers and they can't deal with like
rejection. No, and it's like it's
and they
people
don't have
in general.
compassion.
Like I don't know why I was on Facebook the other day and I went to one of those sites. It's like, look at the disgusting things men say about women when they get shut down. I'm like, oh, this could be funny. And this girl was on like OkCupid, POF, Tinder, all like the dating sites, and she just, her mission was she posted pictures of herself and then she turned guys down. The second she turned a guy down, they would go, you're fat, you're a slob, you're disgusting, you're a
big old
you're a
Tuesday,
C, you're a C word. You're,
Please still have sex with me though.
yeah, and it's just
exactly.
like that. It's like guys can't
handle rejection.
Yeah, they
And
just can't.
What they don't understand is that Tinder, you can't have like a profile. Like that is your name. So it's like their names are out there forever. So if anything, if they do make it to the NHL or say, like it's national news. Like that's like, we're talking about it in Winnipeg on a podcast, like in a basement.
But here is it was on the Steve Dangle podcast and they mentioned it. They're like, yeah, okay, this is an OHL thing, but Belleville Bulls play Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds on the CHL Game of the Week on Sportsnet right before hometown hockey airs. That's national TV. That's national news. Boom. Now
you
this is
have
national
to talk
news.
about
yeah,
that.
you have to. And it's something where it's a distraction that you can't have. But when, like, here's the thing. If you're a professional hockey player or a professional sports player, or even just a person,
mm-hmm.
remember that when you are online, when you put yourself out there, you're not only representing yourself, but your entire family and anything you're associated with.
Yes.
So if you have a job, let's say you work with, I don't know, Royal Bank of Canada, and you start spouting off about how you got rejected by some girl, and that's out there, chances are Royal Bank of Canada does not want you in their company anymore.
Well,
because you're just being disrespectful.
And don't think that it was the Kings he was drafted by?
Yeah.
Don't think they don't hear about it.
Oh, they know. And I doubt he knows. One of the kids
they've all been contacted for sure by it.
One of the kids, his dad played in the NHL, Todd Marchment. So his son, I'm gonna butcher his last name.
He's the son of an NHLer.
Yeah. So you'd think his dad would have given him, and I'm sure his dad is extremely disappointed, as I know my dad would be if he found me doing this, that his son's putting women like this, like treating them like objects essentially, and he's putting his dad's brand down too. It's like if you saw Wayne Gretzky's son just starting to be a total dick to everyone, and just like turning his brand down too, because a lot of people know Wayne Gretzky is a pretty nice guy, and that kind of stuff too, right? So it's just, you're representing not only yourself, but you're representing the extension of yourselves, how you're representing, your family and everything like that. And anything that I say that's bad could be represented for the extension of this podcast as well, where if I say something racist or something like that, it'll come back to haunt me on this podcast probably.
And the thing too is, like, I mean, he could feel he could be regretting it. His dad could be ashamed of him. But the bad thing with the internet is once it's out there, it's out there. It's out there.
And like people have to remember that.
You can delete it. You can do whatever you want, but it's still
It's crazy. There's this guy for Hockey Manitoba that's a ref, and they had to do this thing called Respect in Sport because of the incidents that happened last year with the referees. And he tweeted out that he thought Respect in Sport was the biggest waste of his life ever. it was like the biggest waste of 4 hours. But you have to look at it as a learning experience. If everyone does it, and you learn from it. He didn't get that picture. Hockey Manitoba saw his tweet saying it was a waste of time. He got suspended.
Mm-hmm. Now he's probably never a ref.
Well, and it's stuff like that. Somebody tweeted about how they hated a course at Red River this year, and like this week, and he got disciplined for it. And once you put something on the internet, everyone sees it, and everyone knows.
Tied back to the Jets. Evander Kane.
Yeah.
Says and does things solely to stir the pot, and it gets taken to the point where everyone has a warped perception. Maybe it's accurate, I don't know, but nobody likes Evander Kane because of that. They think he's a dick.
Or when they're arguing against him, that's
they
what
always think he's a dick because he does stuff, and I guarantee you he does it on purpose.
Yeah, well, back to what we talked about countless times. Evander Kane, how he retweeted at the time, he had 80,000-ish followers in year one. It's like, dear Evander Kane, pay your bills. Then he retweeted and he's like haha, or whatever, so not the truth.
Yeah.
And it's like, but he should have been the social media person at the time, or his, whoever was ahead of him, should have at least told him, okay, Evander, 80,000 people are going to see this the moment you hit that button. He knew that in the back of his mind, but he likes stirring the pot and whatnot. That's just how he is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have seen it. I wouldn't have even, I heard stories, but I'm like, yeah, but word of mouth can spread about anything.
Yep.
And then when I saw him retweet it, I was like, well, why would he retweet it? There's some truth to the rumor.
Because he does not lose sleep. He doesn't care what people say about him.
No.
He's making $6 million a year to play hockey.
And
I'm sure he's completely... you watch him in that game the other night when he's firing the crowd up. A guy who doesn't want to play in a city does not do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Does not fight for a team he does not want to play for. Does not do that.
Yep.
So I don't think it bugs him. I think he says it just so people can talk.
Okay. Moral of the story.
But
so we can move on from this. If you have an internet dating profile, whatever, if you put yourself out on the internet, remember that is out there permanently, and remember to respect people. And it's disgusting what people do, especially it's YouTube as well. YouTube's got some of the most disgusting comment sections I've ever seen. Deadspin, sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're just rude and crude. Just remember that not only are you representing yourself, you're representing everyone you know and your friends and family. And
treat every day like you're in an interview, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're auditioning, everything you do, you're interviewing, you're auditioning, because someone's watching you.
Yeah, you're marketing yourself every day.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing yourself any favors if you just decide to put people down and call them fat and call them disgusting, because at the end of the day, that's going to come back and bite you. And I really hope it come back and bite these guys, because it already probably has. That guy can probably kiss his NHL dreams goodbye, because no team's going to want something like that, especially after this.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how good you are. You could be good, but you got to learn respect for people, and if you don't learn that, then good luck in life. And I really hope these guys learned their lesson. Sure, they're young. Sure, you make mistakes, but at the end of the day, so what if you make a mistake? It's still, you just got to learn respect for people, and you should have known that before you're 19 years old. You should respect people.
If you're going to do something like that, be prepared to pay for it.
Yeah,
and he obviously is not, but he'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens to him, obviously. Let's move on.
We were young whippersnappers not too long ago. We know what it's like.
Yeah.
So let's dive in.
Speaking of junior hockey is what you're going to do?
Yeah, let's do the World Juniors. So, World Junior, Craig Button put out his newest, I guess, version of what the team's going to look like. I guess it's coming up in a month and a half?
In just
a month and a half?
In just over a month
47 days till Christmas.
Beautiful.
That's crazy.
And what I say is World Juniors is like Christmas ever. No, World Juniors is my Christmas, because I love it. It's the best.
It's awesome. Yeah. So, let's get right to it.
Okay. The projected team by Craig Button.
By Craig Button.
Oh. Yes. Did he tweet this link or anything?
I'll
find it.
It's on TSN somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't know where it is.
I will tweet.
You could also tweet the link.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. So, first line, projected left winger, Max Domi, Connor McDavid, center, Sam Reinhart, right wing.
Talk a little slower, Craig.
Talk slower?
Come on now.
Okay, so Max Domi, Connor McDavid, Sam Reinhart, first line.
All those were... Oh, Max Domi got shafted last year.
Yeah.
Because...
was Reinhart on the team last year? Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. Oh, I just want to say before you continue, the reason I say, he wasn't on the team last year was because last year they changed things like Brent Sutter. Is he still the coach, or who's going to be the coach this year?
Yeah, I think it was Brent Sutter.
But who's the coach this year?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm certain it's a different coach this year, but either way, Brent Sutter, in previous years, they invite you like first week of December, and they 2 weeks, or like a week and a half, they play a few like inter-squad games, and then they play like university teams, and then they make cuts and they choose based the best players and whatnot. Last year, he just chose a team and then cut 2 guys, and that's it.
Yeah,
so it's like they had to. Well, he did it to automatically build chemistry, but what we heard previously was, Hockey Canada gave like full reign to the coach. Obviously, it's his team. But what they were doing was like, we need first line scoring, second line scoring, third line grinder, fourth line grinder. Well, apparently, what they want to do to keep up to European teams now is take the best guys available, which they should have been doing.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Why not?
But anyways, sorry. So for top line is all of those guys, depending on what NHL team they're all going to be. All these kids will probably make the NHL. Maybe a few won't. But those guys are just absolutely dominating junior right now.
Domi, Phoenix Coyote pick. Reinhardt, Buffalo pick. Mm-hmm. Connor McDavid, to be determined.
Interesting about all these guys, I think Domi is an actual winger, but Team Canada does take centerman, because centerman can play pretty much everywhere. Yeah. So, 2/3 of the forwards, pretty much can say they're all centers. Line 2.
Line 2, Michael Delcall, New York Islander draft pick. Nick Patan, Winnipeg draft pick. Jake Vertanen, Vancouver draft pick.
He's got a laser of a shot, too.
Jason Dickinson, don't know. Robbie Fabry, that is...
What team is Jake Dickinson on?
Guelph Storm.
Oh, so he plays with Robbie Fabry, which will...
Yeah.
Wait, is Dickinson and Fabry one line?
Yep.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
And then Zach Nastasiuk.
Detroit
Owen Sound attack.
He's fast.
Nick Ritchie, Peterborough. Yeah. Frederick Gauthier, Winnipeg, or Toronto Maple Leaf draft pick.
Mimco. Freddie Gauthier.
Greg Trace, Calgary. Greg Chase from Calgary Hitmen. And then the extra forward, Morgan Klimchuk from Regina Pats.
And Calgary Flames draft pick.
Yeah. Funny thing about Nicholas Ritchie, he's the guy that Don Cherry thought Toronto should have drafted over Willie Nylander because we need Canadians, not Europeans. Because apparently Europeans don't score goals. Because right now the guy leading the NHL is European.
Well, if Nick Ritchie and Freddie Gauthier score tag up for a 2-on-1 goal, Don Cherry's head will explode.
It will. We might not see another coach's corner after that. Then our defense
would be a bad thing.
Not a big fan.
He's one of the most watched things, though.
Oh, he's watched. He's well watched.
He knows. He's respected in the elders. We've talked about this, but there's such a divide. It's the older guys watch him because they're like, oh yeah, he knows everything. We watch him because we're like, okay, he's got the longest delay in Canadian national TV.
Are we watching
7-second delay? That's a long delay, guys. At one point, right after he said I think it was around 9/11, I want to say, but don't quote me. Around that time, there was a bunch of stuff going on as well. He had an 11-second delay. That was the longest delay in in North American broadcast history. 11 seconds! You just keep talking. I'm going to count 11 seconds from now. Just keep reading.
Okay, so defense are Hayden Fleury, Josh Morrissey, Samuel Morin, Madison Bowie, Travis Sanheim, Shane Theodore, and Darnell Nurse.
11. How many guys did you name in 11 seconds?
I named 7 guys.
You know why they
That's
do that?
4 seconds more than the average TV delay.
Yeah.
So you're telling me
he's got the longest. The average TV delay is, I think, roughly around 6 to 7, 5 to 7. Yeah. But he's on the longest you can have right now without, obviously you could have as long as you want.
You never know what that old bastard's going to say.
We watch him because of that.
But
which is
crazy.
Whether you like him or you think he's an idiot, he's controversial. That's why people watch him.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why people read.
And that defense core that you
that's why media exists.
Beast. Yeah. Sure. There was some big... Name the height of those guys. Just height. No name. Or name and height.
Yeah, because I have height listed here.
Oh, no? You don't?
I don't.
Okay, well, I know Darnell Nurse is quite big, and I know Sam Morin. Sam Morin...
Josh Morrissey's a little shorter, though.
Josh Morin, yeah, but he'll be... Him and Morrissey and Bowie will be... Or Madison Bowie, sorry, will be looked upon to generate offense.
What about Hayden Fleury?
Not that... Oh, and Hayden Fleury, but not that all those guys... Every one of these guys are tremendously talented. But Bowie... And Morrissey, I believe, are 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 in defensive scoring in the WHL, if not the CHL. Samuel Morin, I only know this through the Flyers. They tried to trade Nicholas Grossman to keep him on the team, but because of contracts and no one wanted to take Grossman, they had to send Morin back. Morin should be in the NHL right now. That's how good he is, allegedly, according to the Flyers. Yes, they have Luke Shen. I get it. Their defense isn't the greatest, but. Morin and Darnell Nurse, in my mind, should already be in the NHL. Nurse, maybe he could use this extra year. He dominated last year, but the reason him and Domi didn't make the team last year was because
stupidity.
No, the stupidity in Sutter. He didn't want a team that took dumb penalties. Well, guess what? This year it's in Canada. Even if you take dumb penalties, that crowd. If I thought Jets fans were nuts. You know what? The moment I put on anything Canada or I'm watching Canada, I'm like, yeah, stab him in the face.
Is it Toronto?
Dude,
Montreal?
take off your skate and slit his throat.
Yeah, come back in, Freddy Krueger. Take your mask off. Classic. Classic Robin Williams.
Toronto, Montreal this year?
Yeah.
Well, it's fine because if they're in Toronto, they'll just throw their jerseys on the ice.
I believe Toronto has all the medal round games, and Montreal hosts most all of Canada's games, and then it reverses next year.
Yeah, because I think this year
they had 2 back-to-back years like that?
Well, it's Toronto, Montreal. So
Isn't it like Montreal gets round robin, Toronto gets playoffs and gold medal, and then next year
well, bam,
opposite.
flips.
What?
Yeah,
That's nuts.
But either way, so those Darnell Nurse is a beast, and Samuel Warren, I'm certain is 6'4" or plus. I know Darnell Nurse is.
Yeah,
dude, if you put those 2 guys on the line, do you remember way back in the day who were the tall guys? It was
Weber.
Stahl. No, Weber. No, but there was like 2 Tyler Myers and no, it was Mark Stahl.
It was Tyler Myers and Keith Ollie.
Keith Ollie, yeah, remember that?
6'7" and 6'8".
Dude, yeah, how big are those guys? Do that again.
Oh, jeez.
We have to play Euro hockey. Well, guess what? You're in our town now, baby. Welcome to the pond. I don't know.
We can have small forwards, small, awesomely skilled forwards, and then just have monstrous defensemen.
We can be out there. We can be aligned with Connor McDavid, and then just have Sam Warren on D. I don't care. We'll win. We'll still win. I won't even throw a hit.
We don't want to make McDavid look bad.
He'll make us look good.
He is that good.
No, I know, yeah.
Okay, so goaltenders Zach Fucale, Philip Desrochers, both QMJHL goaltenders, Halifax and Rimouski, respectively.
However,
funny thing about this though, if you look, there are 3 Rimouski players, which is the most that I see on this list.
Rimouski, I think, is one of the top ranked teams in Kelowna.
Same with Regina and Calgary though. They seem to have some.
Regina, Calgary, and then Kelowna's up.
There.
Kelowna's a good team. I don't know if they're tops. It'll be. Oh, is Ehlers going to be there? No, Denmark isn't.
I don't think Denmark has a team.
Dang.
I don't think Denmark has a team.
Hey, but the upside, the Jets have 3 on this list if you count honorable mentions. Eric
Comrie. Yeah, I won't go through all the honorable mentions and bore you guys.
Eric Comrie's on there. That's all.
Eric Comrie's on there. Yeah. So he's going to get.
He's the only important one.
And he could potentially make the team, but we know that Morrissey and Patan are going to be there, so we got to watch him again in World Juniors. Which,
and they
sure,
will be
some
leaders.
Jets fans are upset that they're not on the team, but they don't deserve. They don't need to be there right now, and it's definitely more exciting to watch. And like this is one of the
leaders on all of their teams.
But here's the thing, though, is it's a great thing to have this team back, and then now you see your players in the top stage of their lives. Like if you think about it, they're performing at the top end of junior right now. Just imagine them playing in the NHL. Like there's just so much more relevancy now with the World Juniors with us, I feel.
Oh, and especially since TSN doesn't have the rights, and they have TSN 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like you're gonna see all of this. Like if you live in Canada, World Juniors, you already know how it is.
Guys,
it's like God, but
this is not on the junior topic, but this is on. We still don't have a hat trick, right?
No.
Well,
Eric Bolton curse.
Scotty Upshaw has a hat trick against the Flames right now for Florida. So,
guys,
how about them apples?
Whoa. Scotty Upshaw only has 35 more points till we get a treat of pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. I think he has an assist, too.
Oh, mama.
Denmark is in it this year.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nicky?
Yeah, we'll be able to see Ehlers play.
Nicky Ehlers are going to be there. The Dash and Dame, baby. Do we get to play them?
No, they're in the opposite group.
Good, because I don't want him to get
Russia,
hit by a Canadian.
Russia, Denmark.
We have USA. What is
ours? We have
closer.
USA, Finland, Slovakia.
Yeah, and you know what USA means? Oh. The greatest tradition continues yet again.
Oh.
World Juniors, Team Canada,
Eve.
Team USA, and guess what? An hour after puck drop, Jets Islanders. What are you guys gonna watch? Because I know what I want.
What time's the junior game?
The junior is at 4, and
Jets is at 4.
No, 4 Eastern.
3.
4 Eastern.
Oh, is it 4 Eastern?
Yeah, okay.
I don't count.
31st, Winnipeg, Canada, 4 Eastern, so 3 p.m. Central Time.
Oh, okay. Hey, Greg, you want to grab that over there? That bag?
Oh, yes.
Aren't we doing
the NHL mailbag
first?
No, McDavid Watch ends it always.
Actually, no. Our new segment ends it now.
Yeah, you're right.
Ready to go.
Okay, well we'll do.
No, let's hop into
we gotta finish
NHL
showing,
mailbag
guys.
here. with some signings, injuries, and
deliver the mail.
suspensions.
Okay.
But first, I want to start with Columbus. Last week we said how everyone's injured. Let me just update you on my status. I am still 1 to 2 weeks with a broken toe. Mm-hmm. Hopefully be able to make the lineup at some point.
I got a concussion just watching their guys get hurt.
Exactly, there you go. Jack Johnson
much going on at once.
got suspended, which means that Wisniewski, Johnson, their top defensive pairing. Bobrovsky's out, and their top two forward lines are out. No wonder they've lost 6 straight dating back to Thursday. I don't know if they've lost again since, but probably.
They're going to be so far behind when all those guys get healthy.
They might not catch back up.
Nope.
They definitely looked good when they were healthy, but they don't look good now.
Okay, well, I'll shore up the injuries.
Without Bobrovsky, they're really screwed.
I'll shore up the injuries really fast. Jonas Gustafsson, dislocated shoulder, out 2 months.
Oof.
This is just for me. Ryan Getzlaf, Corey Perry, scratched due to the flu.
Yeah, thanks, Corey, you asshole.
Corey Perry and the Bald Baron, please get better. We love you.
Yeah, you asshole. My fantasy team needs points. So.
Zach Parise.
No, they don't, Dan. No, they don't.
You're winning right now.
I know I am.
They're playing each other.
Because of smart managing on my part.
Zach Parise is out indefinitely with a concussion. Patrick Sharp is out 3 to 4 weeks with that lower body injury. Sergei Yemelin, you bastard.
Alexei Yemelin?
Alexei?
It's Alexei.
Oh, I thought it was Sergei.
No.
Any Russian.
Sergei is my future dog name. I'm going to name my dog Sergei.
What's his last name?
It doesn't.
Berzin. Right, yeah.
Sergei Berzin?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And
94.
Michael Raffle is out 6 weeks with lower body injuries. Okay, injuries for the Flyers.
So the raffle is off right now?
The raffle house is closed.
Raffle tickets are not for sale.
Raffle tickets aren't for sale, and the raffle house has been closed and brought up for time. They call him the raffle house.
I know they do.
Oh, Shane Gosterbear's nickname is Ghost Bear, and yeah, once he plays, I will only call him Ghost Bear.
Best
Ghost
name
Bear.
in the NHL.
That's what they call him in Flyers. They're like, hashtag Ghost Bear scores. It's like, yeah, baby.
Best name in the NHL still is Colorado's draft pick, Everberg.
Who?
Everberg?
Everberg. Tell me that is not an epic last name.
Isn't that like a lettuce company?
Maybe.
Oh, Iceberg. No.
Iceberg
Everberg.
Whoa.
Yes. No, Everberg's a great one.
Yeah.
The best hockey name I think I've ever heard is Wasey Rabbit.
Wasey Rabbit.
He played in the ECHL and AHL. I'm not sure what junior team he played for, but no, I do. I can guess Medicine Hat Tigers.
Best player name I've ever seen. Played for the Moose. Feel bad for the guy. Corey Pecker.
Yeah. Nice. And then suspensions. You talked about Jack Johnson. Anton Volchenkov, 4 games for his hit on Michael Furland.
What did he do?
He hit Michael Furland.
I don't know who that is.
Flames.
Oh, okay.
Brian
And then a big O. I'm surprised we didn't start with this because Greg's here. Carter Ashton. Suspended.
Yeah,
doping son of a bitch.
Let me finish. Carter Ashton got 20 games for performance-enhancing substance violating the NHL rule. What did he get? Okay.
Can you call it performance enhancing if he wasn't even on the team?
It was a puffer. Okay. It was a puffer.
Because it's really not enhancing his
And see, let's just get right. I loved the Twitter because people think they're so clever. Aren't performance enhancing drugs supposed to make you better? No, idiot, it's a puffer. All he took was a fat burning substance.
There's a list.
It's a banned substance because it helped you gain an edge at some point with fat burning. Let's say I took the substance, I could drop 60 pounds in 3 months, and that's what the substance does. It just burns fat. But, you can vouch for this. You're an asthmatic. I'm not. Mm-hmm. If you're having an asthma attack, a vigorous asthma attack, whether your puffer is there or not, and someone's like, here, take my puffer, you're going to take that puffer for that.
Yeah, you're not going to be like, I can't. I'm going to breathe into this paper bag and hope it works. Because you know the puffer works.
Yeah.
You use it and you take it. And so the thing is, any sport, they have a list of things, banned substances, and they're all under the performance enhancing, whether it's like directly like injecting steroids into you or not. It just so happened in the same situation with Nicholas Backstrom at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Where he took pills because he had an allergic reaction to something.
He took like Benadryl or something.
Yeah,
but there was
something in Benadryl that was banned. Yeah. So they're like, no, you can't play, which is BS.
So in this puffer, it could be a prescribed puffer to the guy that he was training with. It wasn't a Toronto Maple Leaf, it was in the offseason. And it's just a guy that's training with him and is like, here's my puffer. And it's not a situation where he's like, I'm going to take performance-enhancing drugs so I can make the Leafs. It wasn't that situation. To relieve his asthmatic attack. So idiots on the internet realized that the guy could have died, and instead of dying, he decided to take someone someone's puffer so he could live, not so he could gain an edge.
People on the internet are the smartest people in the world. Did you not know that?
Yeah.
They know everything.
Their
Hey, we run
opinions
a
are facts
podcast.
and yours doesn't matter.
No, we run a podcast. We're always right.
I know.
Correct.
Interesting thing though, I didn't even know that they had a drug testing policy in the NHL. And apparently,
You just don't hear about it.
Apparently, the way it works is they select 60 guys every summer and test them. So I'm assuming it's two per team get yanked.
Yeah.
It's completely random.
But it's never an issue in the NHL.
You're starting to hear you've always heard in football, basketball, baseball, well not baseball, but like about performance-enhancing drugs, domestic violence, and you never heard about it in the NHL. But now that it's becoming a big issue, you're starting to see them handling it more.
Yeah.
Out in the open to prove that they are,
but
maybe to show that they are getting a grip on it.
You know what's crazy though is this story came out, and literally it was squashed in the first 15 minutes because there was a formal apology. It was so well handled by Toronto's PR that even if Carter Ashton answers questions about it, it'll be like, yeah, I was having an asthmatic attack. I needed a puffer. The guy gave me a puffer. Does anyone here have asthma? No, because you guys are all idiots, so probably not.
And if you do, you totally understand, and you guys aren't the one quashing me or grilling me. You'd be like, oh yeah, I'll take the puffer so I don't die.
Exactly.
Or have to get rushed to the hospital.
So
and that's the thing. It's like, I don't know what everyone has asthma different reasons. My triggers are from going from hot to cold, cold to hot, and then when I play sports outdoors or indoor, when I'm playing sports and I push myself too hard, and you get short of breath. Once I get short of breath, you kind of get that a little bit of anxiety. The moment you get anxiety, you're done. That's when I get my asthma. So maybe that's just
the thing that I don't.
Yeah, he had a trigger.
And the thing I don't think all the quote unquote medical experts on the internet understand is asthma can kill you.
Yeah, of course it can.
I don't think. I don't think they realize that
But Daniel, it's just coughing. Why would that matter? It's coughing. You can't die from coughing.
Breathe.
Oh, you're short of breath. Just stop what you're doing. Oh,
just take a drag of a cigarette. Just pack a dip. Pack a dip. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll give you that rush, wake you up.
Exactly.
Go for a rip. Yeah.
Yeah, I drove my truck today. Has balls hanging off the back of it because I'm cool like that.
And a Browning sticker on the back. Browning stickers are the new.
I thought
Metal Militia or
Browning.
Remember back
I know
in
Metal
our
Militia,
tapped out shirts.
Yeah. Remember Tapo shirts for us when we were younger? It was Tapo shirts, Metal Militia, Rockstar, and
hats
stuff like that, and those hats and whatnot. Well, now it's Browning. Browning's it's a hunting company, but city country kids with the big trucks. That's their new thing that I've noticed.
Someone should make one just called Doucher and actually patent it and see if they can catch it on. Guys walk around with hats on saying Doucher.
Yeah, maybe get if you have millions.
I'm proud to be part of the Doucher family.
And then
big trucks with Doucher written on the back. Come on.
Will Ferrell can be like, hey, I drive a doucher truck to you. Hey, this is a Jackhawk 9000.
If you're not driving a doucher, then fuck you.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
If you don't wear doucher, then fuck you.
Yeah. Any closing words for Carter Ashton?
Give the guy a break, and the guy's losing a lot of money because of this. He did not intentionally do this. He wants, and the thing is,
it's $190,000.
I feel so bad for Carter Ashton because I like him so much, and I really think that he has a chance in the NHL.
He had a chance. I think his chances with the Leafs
are done. I don't think he's going to be a part of that team when he comes back. They're going to look at
too much of a media hotspot for them not to be all over him for this.
So he's going to be gone, which sucks. But
some team might okay, this isn't even related whatsoever. But if he gets traded and maybe comes out looking okay, what it'll remind me of, kind of, not really, is Corey Conacher. How Corey Conacher went from Tampa, traded to Ottawa in that Ben Bishop deal, and then he got blackballed in Ottawa, and then he could put on waivers. Buffalo picked him up.
Now he's at the Islanders.
And now he's doing okay with the Islanders. I hope it doesn't happen like that, but it's reminding me reminiscent of the same situation. Maybe it's just that could happen to him, where he's blackballed from Leafs.
He'll get floated around. I think.
Yeah, it's tough.
Just
I feel bad for him. I mean, he doesn't deserve all. They get scrutinized so much.
But he was already on the cusp of can he make the NHL? And then this comes out, and you're like, oh man, yeah. So I guess on to a few signings here. There's very few of them. We talked about the Fleury extension, 4-year, $23 million. Thank you, Penguins, for signing that. Because if there's one thing Marc-Andre Fleury is good at, it's allowing the Flyers to score on him in the playoffs. So I can't wait for that. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Flyers, Carlo Koliakovo.
Flyers need to make the playoffs.
1 year, easy. 1 year, 2-way contract, $625,000. Carlo Koliakovo.
Yeah. You want to know something though, Kat?
Oh, and Claude Julien 3-year extension.
Yeah.
Which did you see? They were showing the numbers of coaches get paid. Mike Babcock isn't
He's
he
the highest paid.
He's the highest paid, and he
paid.
wants more.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
He wants to set the.
How much is Maurice? Is that on there?
No, he wasn't even in top 15, and the list started at $2 million, so he makes less than that. Obviously,
So here's the
$1 million
thing: not Paul Maurice. Mike Babcock is trying to start the new trend of paying coaches more, and he's not settling for anything less than $5 million.
I think he's trying to outprice himself so he can go to Toronto. Personally,
Well, I think that's kind of like the thing.
Why doesn't he just say, "Hey, I don't want to work here anymore"?
because if he says I don't want to be here anymore, all the media are gonna take it as he doesn't like Detroit. He hates.
His
Can
players
you
will
trade
stop playing
coaches?
for him.
Can you trade
No,
coaches
in
like
the
in
NBA
the
you can.
Yeah, and if
that's
you're
awesome.
If you're Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
If he came out right now and said, "Yeah, I'm not coming back next year," why would his players
play for him?
play
Yeah,
for him
okay,
this
yeah,
year,
different
right?
aspect. Milestones, because Greg and I talked about it like literally the last 10 minutes of our podcast. Hossa, last Thursday night against the Sens, hit his 1,000 point mark.
Yep.
He had 999th and 1,000s. He has 466 goals and 534 assists in 1,100 games played.
Trivia question.
That's pretty good.
Well, he had a little more
Trivia
now,
question.
but
What is his
Cincinnati.
highest point total in a season? What team was he playing for? What year was it?
88.
Okay, well, since Dan's asking, I'm going to
Atlanta.
say 80. No, I am going to say 93 Atlanta the year before he got traded.
So the year they made the playoffs.
Yes.
So 95 points. I'm going to up it. 95 points in 06, 07
With Thrashers.
with
then.
Thrashers.
Okay, you guys both have the year and the team right. You're both wrong on the points.
How many?
More
Is it
or
over
less?
100 on the dot.
Whoa.
Okay.
Mama. Oh,
Interesting.
Only player in our franchise history to ever score 100 points that season.
Nice.
really?
Kovalchuk never did it. He got 90 a lot.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, he never.
Never
Oh.
broke 100 though.
Yeah.
And he
never
always
broke-
got like 50 or 40.
There was one year that Hossa had 100 and Kovalchuk had like 97 or something.
Yeah, that's
God
crazy.
damn it. Oh, Ovi became the Caps all-time points leader
Yep,
with
saw
826 in 691 games, 428 goals,
Not bad.
398 points. And our favorite segment, one of them. Dan, would you like to say it? You wanted to say it earlier.
You got it.
Connor McDavid, 2015.
I've got the standings right here.
Guys, the run's over. The 14-game point streak has ended.
Oh,
McDavid.
It ended against the Niagara Ice Dogs, so basically Niagara Ice Dogs are winning the Memorial Cup.
because they prevented
That's pretty
Connor
much-
McDavid from scoring.
Connor McDavid.
What are
returned,
his stats right now?
14 goals, 31 assists, 21 PIMs in 16 games played.
You know what's
That
scary?
is 45 points. That is roughly just under an average of 3 points a game. Connor McDavid, if you take him out of the lineup, 3 goals are removed from his team. That's usually what you need for like a safe win. That's amazing.
Now, here's the other thing about this, is they compared his stats to Crosby's stats through the same amount of games.
Yeah.
I think Crosby is averaging around 2. Right now, he's better than Crosby by a whole point.
You guys, if we're going to
Average.
bring Junior into this, have you guys seen the stats on Lemieux's year? That one year he played in like...
Oh, Mario?
Oh, my.
No, I've never
It
seen it.
was like, I think he almost hit 300 points.
That's
He's like that 11-year-old Japanese kid who's just like...
Gucci Ado. If you tweet the link.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's he's going to be... I don't know if... there's no Japanese NHL players. He could
There's
be
got to
like...
have been one.
Fukafuji. He was a goalie. He played like 2 games.
Hey, there's been a
Oh,
female
hey.
goalie
He got
play in
lit
the
up by the
NHL.
Thrashers.
Hey,
I
there's
remember
been
watching it.
There's been a female goalie play in the NHL before.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, I don't
For
know.
the
No,
Tampa Bay
but
Lightning.
that kid could be could be a superstar in the NHL.
But here's the thing, though.
He's 11.
Me-
He
me
makes
and-
dangles that no Jets can make.
Me and a guy at my school were talking about this, and he was saying how
Crazy.
we both grew up and we both played with guys. Sometimes you just peak too early, and
That's true.
unless he hits the proper development like streams, he might never develop in the player that he can be. But right now, he's on a pretty good track, and he has the potential to be a very, very good hockey player. One thing that I noticed is not only it's at that age, like one of the biggest things is the skating. If they're good skaters, it shows. But not only can he skate, his stick handling is
His
just
dangling.
Oh.
And his hockey sense, like he sets guys up perfectly.
oh yeah.
He'll be
It's
getting
ridiculous.
phone calls from like
Oh god, yeah.
teams over in North America, maybe in Europe to stay closer to home.
Yeah.
another thing, a kind of weird, fun stat. Jakob Markstrom, you guys remember him?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
The
do.
guy who basically is blackballed from the Canucks and because they signed Ryan Miller, someone had to go to the A and it wasn't going to be Eddie Lack again because Eddie Lack's like, no, I was in Winnipeg. Fuck that, I'm not going back.
Played for the Moose.
I'm not going back.
All right.
Jakob Markstrom has, in 5 games played, he has 4 shutouts and, in 6 games, not 5, 4 shutouts.
Kansas.
He's 4 shutouts in
His
5
4
games.
shutouts
for
in 6
5.
games played. He has 5 wins, but his 1 loss, he got 5 goals scored on him.
Oh, okay. He got a little
Back
bit
to the McDavid. Should I read the McDavid standings
Yes,
as
right
of
now.
November 8th, 2014?
Is it? Already? Jeez, yeah.
So, coming in at number 26, Dallas Stars, who I said are going to underachieve this year, and they look like they might. It's early. It's early, I know. 27.
Won a 5-game losing, 6-game losing streak.
27, Edmonton Oilers.
God
spread.
damn it.
Remember when they won
What if
4
Edmonton
straight?
sucks real bad, and then realistically their top 3 centers could be Connor McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, Leon Draisaitl.
Well, then they better get rid of some guys and get some good defensemen because they're still
Jordan
going to be
Eberle
awful.
and Ariak.
They
And
still,
a good goalie.
The
Okay,
thing is,
Edmonton.
yeah.
28, Carolina.
Jack Eichel.
29, Columbus.
Oh, jeez.
30, rounding it out, the Buffalo Sabres.
Buffalo Sabres has pretty much got Connor McDavid. Dude, they're already showcasing him in their
They are already up to 10
yeah,
losses.
they've already played a few games.
They're already at 10
Oh,
losses.
that's right. They're
Yeah.
bad.
Out of how
Florida
many?
has only played 11 games. Buffalo has lost 10. So, there you go. And the Jets are tied for 12th in the NHL with Ottawa, New York Islanders, and San Jose Sharks.
Wow.
That's a playoff.
So they're 15th technically, but they're tied with those other 3
As long
teams.
as they're 16 and above. Who would we be playing right now, technically?
Nashville.
In playoffs?
Yes.
Ooh.
We
That's
are-
a manageable
We are
team.
2 behind Nashville, and we are 3 behind St. Louis for the division lead.
So we would play Nashville.
Because
Do you know that for a fact?
Nashville's 2, we're 3, and 2 and 3 always play each other.
Ooh.
And you know what? That's some favorable time zones, too.
Yeah, that's some very favorable time zones.
Yeah.
That
I
could
wanna
get
see-
to be a mean series.
I want to
though.
see Pittsburgh Jets in a playoff series.
Yeah, that'd be Stanley Cup final.
That could rival Philly Pittsburgh.
You
from a few years
guys,
ago.
yeah, because everyone
hates each
The
other.
book's out on you, Sydney. Get under
Now-
your skin, and guess what? I guarantee Evander Kane
Oh.
would have not a problem doing that. Every shot.
You know what I've noticed too with guys with Crosby is like they're always hesitant to finish a check on Crosby. I don't know if it's because they feel like he's protected by the referees or because they know that they'll get jumped.
Or because
by...
he's the league.
Yeah. But Adam Lowry just ran him over once. It was awesome.
That was great.
For a young guy like that to have the confidence to do that, hats
Well,
off to you.
as we said earlier, he is playing his role.
Hats off to you.
Greg,
my
what
sir.
are you looking up there?
I'm just looking at standings right now. That's all.
All
So,
right.
let's have a little discussion here.
Okay.
Let's delve into some conspiracy theories.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're back, baby.
We said we'd come back with more.
We're back in our favorite segment, What's in the Water in Colorado.
I feel like we're just reaching now for
We're
conspiracy.
not
Oh, we are.
reaching. We are not reaching.
Yesterday or last week, we dove into their 4th pick in the 09 draft, wearing number 29 when he played in U.S. college, and it had 9 in it, so that's where we were. So let's go this week and dive into a very noticeable conspiracy with the number 9. How many letters are in the word avalanche? 9. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's correct.
What year were they founded? 1995. 2 9s. There you go. Johnny Boychuk, a favorable draft pick. The 9th draft pick, the 9th first-round draft pick they had. Johnny Boychuk. What number did he wear? 39.
Kind of crazy.
I feel like we're reaching so
Crazy.
far on this.
I
Oh,
really
and did
don't...
we talk about this last podcast?
With Duchesne and...
No, 93s.
Oh, no. The last 3 drafts, meaning 2014, 2013, 2012 entry drafts, they've had the 93rd overall pick. Have they picked anyone great? No. But they still have the 93rd pick. Somehow, they're just like, yeah, I want pick number 93. So this year, pick number 93, watch out, it could be Colorado again.
Oh, and Dan came up with the one just on the fly right before we started. Who is their captain?
Gabriel Landeskog.
How many letters in Landeskog, Greg?
8.
9.
There's only 8.
Do you know how to spell
Landeskog?
That.
9.
Yeah.
Got any closing words, Greg?
Illuminati.
Wow.
Done.
Got any closing words?
Illuminati.
Over.
That's
No,
it.
I'm thinking. I'm thinking of things.
We'll come
No.
back with more. There's
No.
more in the water. I think our internet's getting throttled from the
Guess that happened 9 years
Stevie
ago.
White. No, Joe Sakic.
Joe Sakic.
What happened?
Guess what happened 9 years ago? There was a lockout, so Colorado technically finished first overall.
What?
Because nobody played. I can reach 2.
That was 10 years ago.
9.
No, Crosby started
5.
in the league 10 years ago.
Oh, well, conspiracy's busted then. It's over.
No
It's over.
conspiracy.
No. I will not.
The Illuminati.
Wait. You said Crosby started in the league 9 years ago, right?
10 years. This is his 10th year in the NHL.
Oh, it's his 10th.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you were saying 9, 7, 8,
No.
87 backwards.
That's a reach. That's a big reach.
No, there's no reaching.
That's a big reach.
Okay, closing words. Go, Greg.
Okay,
Okay,
Thanks
good.
for watching.
Dan. Listening.
Watching. You can watch my hands.
Illuminati
How
is
many
real.
letters are in the Illuminati?
I don't know, but if
Let's count this.
I don't know, but if you write it forwards and backwards, it's spelled the same. If you write it you can write it a way that it spells it forward and backwards.
How many letters? Is it double T? I don't think it's double T.
ILLUM.
No. You misspelled it, Cam. I guarantee you misspelled it.
Really?
There's only one T. No, there's 2 T's. I'm reading a book about it right
There's 2 T's?
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 9. I'm just putting that one out. No, there's 10. Shit. Conspiracy.
Okay, my closing words. Jake the Snake.
Wait.
Beautiful. Keep on
now.
rolling.
Predictions.
For
Are
tonight's
we
game.
doing them?
Yeah, let's do
We
it.
haven't been doing predictions.
Let's do
We've
it.
been
Yeah,
winning
against
them.
Ottawa. No, let's do it.
My prediction: Jets 4, Ottawa 2. No Hattie.
No. Cam, let's be honest here. You don't care about the game. Let's just do predictions for your Philadelphia Flyers. Oh, wait, they'll probably lose.
Jake the Snake's
They'll let in another 5 goals tonight.
Jake
We don't
the-
even have to worry about it.
They'll lose
Jake
9-0 to the Colorado Avalanche.
Jake this.
McKinnon and Duchesne both going to have hat tricks.
Jake the Snake is getting 2 goals and an assist, and I expect Wayne Train to get a goal because he's been a little slumpy. Thanks. That's it. What's your prediction? Jets game.
Leafs are going to win tonight. There you go.
Who are they playing?
I hope not. I bet on the Rangers.
There you go.
Done.
Rangers. Dan,
Hey.
what's your prediction for the Jets game tonight? Because you're the only true Jets fan here. He's the only one wearing Jets memorabilia as well.
5-3.
Oh, wait,
Jets.
I am. I'm wearing a hoodie. And
5-2. 5-2 Jets.
No Hattie? Hattie.
Hattie?
No
Can we have a Hattie?
No hat trick.
I want a hat trick.
Not happening.
Give me a hat trick.